So what's going on, guys? It is Jeremy, it's Speakboxing. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel before you click on to any of the vids. Also comment below in the comment section if you guys have any opinions on what I'm saying in any of the videos. Like always, it's appreciated if you guys could drop me a quick sub or two on my channel. So it's came out in the past few hours that Mikey Garica has turned down a fight with WBA and Ring Magazine champion Jorge Linares, and instead apparently he's taken a fight with Robert Easter Jr., who is the IBF lightweight champion, because he's been offered more money. I've seen that on my Twitter account, and Eric Gomez has came out and said that he's turned the fight down with Linares, and I've seen on Twitter it's because he's been offered more money to face Robert Easter Jr. But this is very interesting because everyone wanted to see Mikey Garica fight Jorge Linares. Like, they just felt that Mikey Garica and Linares were the best two fighters at 135 pounds. But in my opinion, I've always felt that Mikey Garica would beat Jorge Linares, because Jorge Linares, very good fighter, classy boxer, throws great combinations, got very quick hands. But I just always felt that if Mikey Garica were in there, he'd get to him. That Jorge Linares would make mistakes and Mikey Garica would take him out. And as soon as he makes a mistake, Mikey Garica would put it on him and he'd fall apart, you know what I mean? Because we've seen Jorge Linares do that in a few fights. He's nearly fell apart many times in fights, and he has fell apart on 3 occasions, being knocked out 3 times in his 3 losses. So yeah, very interesting that Garica has turned down the fight, because obviously people wanted to see who was the #1 at lightweight. But I still think a unification bout with Robert Easter Jr. is a good fight. What's interesting about this is that Robert Easter Jr. is a good friend of Adrian Broner, who Mikey Garica beat in July. Dominated Adrian Broner in a fight a lot of people felt was going to be competitive. But people still thought that Mikey Garica would win that fight, but they thought that Broner would give him some problem, but he didn't, not whatsoever. Mikey Garica intimidated Broner. Broner couldn't let his hands go, and Mikey Garica just dominated him for 12 rounds, winning an easy decision. But the Robert Easter Jr. fight is very interesting because Robert Easter Jr. is very tall. He's got 5 inches in height compared to Mikey Garica. Mikey Garica is 5'6". Robert Easter Jr. is 5'11", which is very big for a lightweight. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage over Mikey Garica. And Robert Easter Jr., like, he can use his height and reach well in fights. I've seen him do it a few times. Like when he creates distance in there, Robert Easter Jr., when he sets the distance, he's a very good fighter with his height and reach. But sometimes he can be dragged into a fight too much, Robert Easter Jr. Like, we saw that when he fought Richard Comey. He got caught into a dogfight with Richard Comey when he fought for the vacant IBF title, and he nearly got took out in that fight. He was dropped, he was hurt badly a couple of times, and he won a split decision in that fight. But I felt that he could have made that fight a lot easier for himself. But Richard Comey was very awkward. But then in his last fight, he fought Denis Shavakov. I think that's how you pronounce it. I can't pronounce the fucking name, Russian names. But yeah, he fought him, and that was a very close fight. Like, I thought that fight could have been a draw. And on 2 judges' scorecards, it was a shutout for Robert Easter Jr. Like, 2 judges gave that fight 120-108, which is disturbing in my opinion. Very disturbing. Like, go and watch that fight, and you tell me that Robert Easter Jr. won every round. Like, that was definitely some hometown cooking in that fight. But Robert Easter Jr. is a good fighter. Like I said, he's tall and rangy. He carries decent power. And he's a good boxer, you know what I mean? He could give Mikey Garica problems, because, like I said, he's got that height and reach advantage. But I just feel like if he gets dragged into a dogfight against Mikey Garica, or if he goes in there and tries to go to war with Garica, then he's going to make a mistake, and then Mikey Garica is going to get to him. That's just how I feel. So I'd be favouring Mikey Garica in that fight. Still a tough fight for Garica. I think it could be a competitive fight, But if Mikey Garcia goes in there and blows Robert Easter Jr. out the water, then that would be a statement to other fighters in the lightweight division. You know what I mean? That would be a statement to somebody like Jorge Linares. But obviously, Mikey Garcia is thinking about the financials. He feels like he can still unify, but get paid well for doing it. But to say the offer was 50-50, like, what was the offer that they made? How much was this 50-50? Like, what is 50% they were offering? You know what I mean? It obviously couldn't have been something that Mikey Garcia really fancied, because obviously it was still a big fight with Jorge Linares, but obviously he's turned it down now. So the offer might not have been great. So it'd be interesting to see what Robert Easter Jr. is giving him instead, what his people are giving Mikey Garcia for a unification. But yeah, I think that's a good fight. I still think Easter Jr. and Garcia is a very good fight. Like I said, Easter Jr.'s got that height and reach advantage, and it could be interesting, but I'll still be favouring Mikey Garcia in the fight. I just feel that Mikey Garcia has the better fundamentals. I feel he has a better boxing IQ, and I just think he'll beat Robert Easter Jr. quite easily, because Easter Jr. isn't as skillful as somebody like a Jorge Linares. He's a good boxer, but he hasn't got the skills of somebody like a Jorge Linares. But styles make fights at the end of the day. Mikey Garcia might have a problem with the height and reach, so we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's a good fight. But like a lot of people, I would have liked to seen the Linares fight, just because the winner of that fight would be seen as the #1 lightweight in the world. So yeah, comment below in the comment section. It's JM, it's Speakboxing.